Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's been forever since I've been with you all. We had such an amazing week since last week. My kids' godparents were here. My uncle was here for the week before. One of my girlfriends, who I haven't seen in 30 plus years, was here right after the godparents were here. And my sons were here. It was wonderful to have everybody be here. And it was just a beautiful way to be part of this new moon energy, because as we were playing around town and going to look at manatees and lots of kayaks and all kinds of stuff, I was reminded of, that we are in this new moon. We were coming from the new moon into the first quarter, so we're in the first quarter right now. Hi, I'm good. I'm so good. I'm so happy to see you. Welcome back. Thank you for asking. And so as we were moving from, back from this new moon into the into this first quarter, is really this time of creation and manifestation. And my husband and I kind of looked around at each other and said, this is what we've been manifesting, is this. And so we were able to, we paddled 3 days in a row. We paddled 3 totally different places. We saw manatees and alligators and otters and snapping turtles and fish and birds and deer and just amazing things. And it was always so fun to see our friends, their reactions to seeing alligators, because, most people, if you don't paddle in Florida a lot, you might not see alligators. And my other girlfriend, she paddles in the ocean with sharks, and so it was just really fun to be with everyone. But the thing that was so important was this realization that we had come into this place where we were reveling in the things that we had manifested, and it takes time, and we live in this instant gratification society where we just expect, like, okay, I'm telling the moon, I'm telling my spirits, I'm saying what I want, where is it? And it doesn't work that way. And so having some patience is really important. And so I want to share this with you, because here we are now in the first quarter of the new moon. This is the Gemini new moon. And this is about speaking your mind and saying what you want. This is the time that, if you haven't, up until, a week ago, when the moon, the new moon was on the 19th, 20th. So if you haven't stated what your intention was for this new moon cycle, and you haven't been part of, asking the universe for this, and asking the moon and your guides and all the things, asking and communicating and saying what you want, you might miss this window. And so we are in right now in this Gemini new moon. This is the time. Speak your mind. Say what you want to create for your life going forward. This is the time to do that. This is the time to do that, because if you are not, now, if you have no idea, because, I try to be so transparent with you always that, full disclosure, there have been plenty of times in my life where I'm like, I have no flipping idea what to ask for. I don't know where I'm going. And it's not like I didn't know where I was going, but it was a transitional time. And so maybe we had just completed one chapter, one journey, and it's like, well, where are we going next? I got to think about that for a little while. So if you are like in this new moon cycle right now, in this first quarter, and you're like, it's okay. It's okay. But take this time to say, well, let me give this some thought and put some energy to it before the next new moon, so you're not letting like 6 months of new moons go by and have no idea where you're going, right? It's really important that we are taking the initiative of deciding the direction that we want to go in. We can get in the car and we can utilize the miracle of GPS, which is really lifesaver, right? How many times? But if we don't tell the GPS where we're going, we're just going to drive around. And so if you don't know what to ask the new moon for, or you don't know where you're going right now, that's okay. But let's not live there. And so this moon in Gemini really asks us to speak our mind and to say what we want. And so here's what I would suggest. Because I want you to think of it like, okay, remember when you were in like PE class in school, okay? And they would make you run these things, like relays, right? And you would have to run like a short distance, turn around, come back. You'd run a longer distance, turn around, come back. You'd run a longer distance, turn around, come back. You run a longer distance, turn around, come back. Oh my gosh, we hated running these things, right? Not only was it like, jarring on the body because you're zigzagging, but it was just hard, right? And sometimes we would run the furthest and then the next, and we would do it coming close. Okay, so I want you to think about that in your mind. And we're not running. I'm not thinking about running. Okay, there's no sprint or anything like that. I'm scared at times to speak my mind too much, but I always end up doing so. So Leslie, I totally get it. And when we are afraid to speak our mind, one of the things that I would suggest is, do I need to say this out loud for me? Or is this going to benefit others? Sometimes there's stuff in our mind, like we just be like, I need to say that. And so ask yourself, why? Why do you need to say that? Do you need to say that so you feel validated? Do you need to say that so it benefits or shifts others? There's a very big difference, because sometimes we have these things in our mind and we're like, why are these people not getting it? But that's for me, because it's up to them to follow their path and to evolve on their own timeline and their own journey and to move forward at their pace. Just because I can see it, because can't we so often, we can see things from the outside, right? And I'm like, oh, I can look in and see, and I can help you solve that problem. But that's not our job. That's not our job, right? And if you've heard me talk about the 3 questions, is this my conundrum, situation, problem, whatever? Is it, is this mine? Do I have the power to fix it? Did anybody ask me to fix it? That's the important one. Did anybody ask me to fix it? I can look at the situation and be like, I may know what suggestion to give you, but if you didn't ask me to stick my nose in there, I'm not going to. That's boundaries, that's personal space, that's respecting other people's journeys. When we fix something for someone else, we rob them of the opportunity to learn to fish themselves, right? I know I just mixed in my metaphors, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go back to this running thing, right? Where we go a little further, come back, a little further, come back, a little further, come back. Okay, and it's not like I'm not saying you need to go running, but what I want you to look at, when we talk about speaking our mind, it isn't, so when we're saying, okay, I need to speak my mind, are we saying the truth, or are we saying an opinion, or who is benefiting from this information? Am I just saying something because I'm mad about that and I just need to tell somebody? Or am I saying something because there's some change that could be offered? There's some assistance that could be offered. Not to do it for somebody, but is there some assistance? So let's leave that as far as speaking your mind. But right now, as far as the speaking your mind to the universe, we have this opportunity every new moon to ask for what we want. And when we don't, you know that saying, if you always did what you did, you're going to get what you get, right? So if you don't do anything different, you're going to continue to get what you've always gotten. So if you're not sure what to ask for right now, which feels like a place where a lot of people are living, like, I know I'm supposed to ask the new moon something. I'm supposed to manifest something. I'm supposed to set my intention for the new moon. I don't know what to ask for, right? And I feel like a lot of people feel like that. And so this new moon comes with this pressure that, what do you mean you didn't ask for something? You're going to get nothing. And then we feel like we've missed out on something. And that is a lie that is, that we tell ourselves or we let others tell it to us. Okay, so we're not missing anything. So if you are not ready to ask the new moon and to set a concrete and clear intention for the new moon, that is okay. But let's talk about how we can figure out what it is we want. And this is where the running thing comes in, okay? If you can say to yourself, oh, boy, I really wish I could have a bigger house or a better job or a sports car or a relationship or whatever. It could be material, it could be higher minded. There's no judgment, okay? There's no judgment. But if you know, boy, I got a wish list and I would love to blah, blah, blah wish list. Start with the end in mind. We start with the wish list. So when we were in school, we would run shortest and then come back and then the medium and come back and the next one and come back and the furthest one. But it was harder that way. And I remember the PE teacher would often say, I don't care how you run it, you just need to run it. Hang on. And some of the kids figured out that if they went to the furthest distance and came back, and then the shortest, it got easier the more tired they got because they were running shorter distances each time they went. And there's advantages to both things. So keep these visuals in mind, okay? So if your wish list is, oh, I want a fancy car and I want a house and I want a, whatever, like whatever that is. And I'm just pulling stuff out of the air. Okay, so whatever it is, if you know what is on your wish list, boy, if I could design my perfect life, I'd have all the money and I'd have peace and vacation house and all the things, whatever. That's the thing when you run, that's the furthest. Okay, that's the furthest one. So we know what's out there that we want to get to. Now we've got to figure out how to get to it. And so we think to ourselves, okay, let's look at what is the one thing, that we could do to help us move to that place. So we already know what's in the longest running thing, right? We know what's out there, a boat, a car, whatever. What is one thing I could do to start moving in that direction? How can I run that short little sprint to go forward? And then we say, well, what's the next thing that we could do and what's the next thing? We don't have to know what the how and all the things. Like, we don't have to know. We just have to know two things. Where are we going? So we can tell the GPS, like, where is that furthest running thing? And what is one thing, what is the next best step that we can take? These are the things that make a big difference. When we can take, because the GPS has to know two things too, right? The GPS has to know where we're going, but the GPS has to also know where we are. Which means you have to turn on that location thing on in your phone or wherever. The GPS has to know where we're going, but it also has to know where we are. So we start and we say, okay, if I want to, let's say I want to have a fancy car, okay? What is the first thing I got to do? Well, I got to figure out what kind of a car. That means I got to go drive some cars. Maybe I want to do some internet research to figure out what kind of car. Look around. Get some prices. So the first thing I got to do is start looking. We've talked, and I share sometimes we have this property that we have purchased in North Florida, and we're going to build a house there. That's going to be a long road. That's going to take a long time to build a house. Right now, it's just trees. And we periodically go up there and we walk around our trees and we sit in the trees and we have lunch in the trees and we go paddle in the Swanee River. And it's beautiful. But we keep talking about we want to have a house here and we're going to put this here and we're going to do this. Well, what's the first thing that we need to do? Well, we have the survey done. Okay, great. Now what's the next thing we're going to do? Okay, so we know what the end goal is, but we don't have to know all the steps to get there. My husband and I talk about this all the time. I don't know how to build a house. I don't know how to do, I don't know what all the things that you need, but we have the county inspector people who are going to help us walk us through. We have the architects. We have the planners that are going to help us. So all these other people know, and so we only have to know two things: where are we going, and where are we? Three things. What's one best step? What's one next step? And so the next step is working with the architect. So, knowing where you want to be in the long road, like way out there. What is the dream? And it doesn't matter what happens when we say something like, oh, I really wish I could, da 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 da. The second we say that, the left brain says, no, you can't have that. You can't have that. You know, when my husband first started talking to me about buying property on the river, I was like, we can't do that. Who are we? We don't, like, not land barons. What are you talking about? I own 2.5 acres on the Swanee River. Still shocks the crap out of me, you know. But what happens is, the more you say it, the more you move yourself to it. So we started to say it, let's find some property. So we started looking, because what's the next one step we got to do? If I say I want to buy property on the river, well, the one thing I got to do is start looking. And so we looked for a while, and we found the one place. Okay, so we let that sink in for a little bit before we immediately were like, we're going to do all the flurry of the next things. We let it sink in, because what happens is, when we say we want the thing, and we take that one step, we run that one little thing, our brain stretches. Our mind expands to say, well, maybe we could own river property. Let's go look. And then, you know, we get scared, and the ego kicks in and says, you can't do that. And it shrinks back, and we run back to the starting line again. But the next time, we can go further. So then we went to the bank. And we said, okay, well, we found the property's going to cost this much money. Here's how much money you have. Here, how much money can you give us? Oh my gosh, we can make this work. And your mind expands again. And then you're like, what did I just do? And then you run back again. But each time, you go a little further. And then when you get to the next, okay, so now we've built, let's say we've got the river property, it's paid for, we've got all that, we're working on the next thing. So the next time when you say, I'm going to go and run that farthest point, we don't freak out and run all the way back to the beginning. Because our mind has expanded. We don't run back to the beginning again. So we were talking about running the little and going, then running the medium and coming. And every time we do that, our mind expands. But when we set the next goal, we won't run back as far each time, because we grew. Our mind grew. And our ability to comprehend, I'm a landowner. Like, I got a house and I got a property. You know? And so in the beginning it was like, and I'm not trying to brag, I'm being silly. But in the beginning we would be like, oh my God, we have these things. How do we do that? Oh my God. But over time, you become comfortable with it and say, well, yeah, okay, I have my house and we have this property on the river. What are we going to do with the property on the river? And it's not so shocking to the system. We moved forward. And now what's the next thing we're going to do? And so each time we take one step forward, the brain expands, the mind expands, the heart expands. And when we get scared and freak out, we are not like running all the way back to the beginning saying, well, let's just sell it and walk away. We say, okay, I'm a little overwhelmed. This is a little scary. How do we, what's the next one step that we could take to go forward? So we know 3 things, right? Where we want to go, where we are, and what's one thing we can do to step forward. And so we're in this quarter moon, this first quarter moon of Gemini, and this is this time to say, what do you want? Tell the universe. But what I'm finding from a lot of folks is they have no idea. And so this is where we wanted to share today, is it is okay if you have no idea. But don't live there, right? Don't live there. So think of something, anything, and it could be minuscule. It could be like, I want to, start running. Well, have you ever run before? No. Well, maybe go take a walk. I visited with a friend of mine yesterday, and, he was talking about, he really needs to get back into fitness. I said, well, are you running? Are you doing anything? What are you doing? He's like, no. I said, okay, well, let's start with a walk. Let's walk around the block. And some of you have been with me long enough to remember I had my knee surgery in 2021. And out my front door, it goes into a cul-de-sac right out from my front door. And when after my knee surgery, I literally would go out my front door. I would walk across the street, and I would go around the cul-de-sac. It's like 4 houses to the curb, and then there's 2 or 3 houses on the curb. It's not a long road. And I would walk back. And that post-knee surgery would take me 45 minutes. I mean, literally, it's not even, one lap around a track. It's not even, one lap around a school, like a running track. It would take me 45 minutes because that's where I started. But it was one thing that I could do to get started. And then this morning I ran my furthest distance. So now I'm working on that endurance of going my furthest distance. So today I had a personal best of going farther without stopping than I have gone yet. Still not massive. I'm still not running a mile and a half. And other people are out there running marathons. So it's not about anybody else but me and moving forward to where I want to go and what's, my track, my path, staying in our lane, right? What do I want? Well, my next goal is to run a mile and a half. Because my furthest thing is I want to be able to, I did the Pulse 5K, 49K, 4.9K in honor of the 49 people that were killed in Pulse. I ran that last year. My goal was to finish in under an hour. And I ran and I walked and I ran and I walked. My goal this year is to beat my time and to be able to run the whole way. So I need to be able to run 3-point-something miles, right? And so right now I'm working on a mile and a half. Now, might I reach that level by the time the 4.9K comes around this summer? But it doesn't matter. Because whatever it is, I'm going to be further along than I was. So we know 3 things, right? Where we want to go, where we are, what's one step we can take. So if you are not sure about what to put on your, I'm going to ask the universe, I'm going to manifest for the moon, and okay, ask for the big nut. Ask for the big, what is the big thing? But then back it up to what is that little thing. And if you have no idea, take a look around. Look around. Like, I wanted to get my house painted. Okay. So we saved up and we got the house painted. Oh, look, we've got some spammers. We're going to ban you. Bye. Bye. If you're a spammer, just leave. I'm going to ban you. So we're going to ban you. Oh, thanks, Maria. Maria says, love your advice. It makes it more credible to the brain. We see where it's doable. We can make steps. And that's the truth. Now, some people are wired where they can be these big quantum leapers. That's fantastic. Go, God bless. That is not how I am wired. And I think that a lot of people are not wired that way. And so they just decide not to play because they don't even know where to start. And so that was the thing that was really on my, that was really put on my heart today, was that they really want to talk about that we are, it's on us to decide where to start, but it's okay if we don't know where to start, and how then to move forward in a way that we can find how to start, where to start. And also that it's totally okay if you're asking for $1 million or you're asking for the ability to, run a half a mile without throwing up. You stay in your lane. There isn't a wrong answer. When we look to the other lanes, there's a shit ton of wrong answers because we start comparing with what's going on around us. When we stay in our lane and we remember we're only on our journey, there's no wrong answers. So hopefully this is some helpful information for you all today about speaking your mind and asking for what you want. Now, if you came in late, we did talk for a second about speaking your mind. When you're speaking your mind, make sure, is it helpful? Is it going to bless somebody? Is it going to shift the situation? Or is it just our own personal opinion? Like, I'm just so mad I got to tell somebody. All right, so take a breath and maybe think. And also, if you are going to speak your mind, which I always encourage, but if you're speaking your mind, make sure that you are speaking from a place of love and compassion and not a place of like, you stupid head, right? We're not like that. We speak from that place of love and compassion. It's okay to say, I don't see it that way, or I don't agree with you on this, and this is how I see it, and maybe we can discuss and find some, common ground. But we want to make sure that we're not beating someone else up with our views any more than we would want to have ourselves be beaten up by somebody else's views, right? Oh, look, another spammer. Bermudas, you're banned. Bye. So if you're a spammer, just go. Just leave the page because I'm going to ban you, like, immediately. So just go. Just go. We have zero tolerance for spammers here. All right, Candace. Welcome, welcome. So we do some channel information, which I think we've just finished with, and then we're going to do a collective card reading for the group, and then we will absolutely do individual card readings. So I do want to start with our animal spirit. This was really put on me, especially running across an otter who had just caught a fish. I mean, I saw the, I don't mean to make a pun, but I saw the tail end of the otter catch in the fish, and then he was very proud, and he was like bringing it back home to his den, and so we were paddling, and we kind of followed him politely back to his little house. So I feel otters are amazing animals, so I definitely feel like we want to start with our spirit animals today, but actually let me take a second. I'm listening in my head. It's saying let's take a second to look up what otters are about. So let me see if I can find them. This is the same, the book by the same author. This is Stephen Farmer, who's amazing with animal spirits. So, otter. Okay, so otters talk about is, hey, shh, there's a delivery on my porch in case you were unsure what was going on. Buddy, come on. So otters remind us that it's time to relax and be more playful, spontaneous, and creative. Now I really want to hone in that part, creative, because this is where we're talking about what is it that you want, right? That clean up any area in your home that needs organizing. Whatever struggles you're up against right now, confront them head on with courage, determination, and tenacity. Otters also remind us that family is really important and that we're going to have a surge of energy and vitality. Now that's also really important because when we have these surges of energy and vitality, we're in that place of co-creating with the universe, because that new moon, right, the energy comes down after the full moon to the new moon, and after that new moon the energy goes up. So we are in this up, the time that our energy is increasing and our vitality is increasing because the moon is going up. We're in that first quarter, and the moon, that energy that we feel, is going to continue to rise as we go around the circle to that full moon, and then as we come back around it'll come down again. So this is really important, that this is very much the time to keep family important in front of you, to think about what you want, and to allow some playful and creativity energy to come in there. And this really fits in with what we were talking about before, of if you're not sure what to ask for, think about what you really would wish. Like if you had the key to the kingdom, what would you wish? And that's all about creativity and playfulness. So that's fantastic. All right, we're going to grab one more animal spirit card for the collective. Okay, and that card is going to be the shark. It says, trust your instincts to discern the truth of the situation. So trust your instincts, which means when you align that with the otter, using your creativity and following what's in your heart to ask the universe for what you want, trust your instincts when you're making these requests, so that you're not second guessing yourself, because it's so easy for us to make this request and then immediately that ego mind, that left brain, it's like, no, we can't have that. Like, I don't know, how would we even do that? Shh, that's not your business. That's the conversation with spirit, with the universe. Trust your instincts that whatever is coming up for you, that is on the right, like that is the right thing. If you feel it in your heart and that comes up for you, it's the right thing. Trust your instincts. So Lucy's been reading a story with her daughter about sharks. Oh, that's so cool. You know, it's so interesting because I don't really do a lot with sharks. We don't really have a lot of that, like where we paddle and stuff. And it was fun because my friend who was here paddling with us, we had several groups of family and house guests and things over the time, and the one is a competitive paddleboarder, and she goes in the ocean. She says she sees sharks all the time, and that, boy, if we really knew what was around us in the ocean, we might not swim there, because as the paddleboarders are higher up, they get a pretty good view. So it was fun because I know I would be very nervous to see a shark in the ocean if I was paddling. Because she's like, here, look, I saw a hammerhead. But I am not too upset about seeing the alligators. And so when we were paddling, she was like, alligators. So there's something to be said for perspective. And it actually kind of feeds into what we were just talking about. By the end, she was like, all right, now I know what to do around an alligator. I know how to spot them. I know how to act around them. And so her brain had grown so that she was no longer in a panic about it because she had been exposed to something that was new. And this is very much the same, where we take that step and our brain expands and we grow, and then we don't step back so much because we have become more accustomed to being in the next place. And then we step forward and we grow again, and then we don't step back quite as far. We have become accustomed to being in the next place. So it's like 2 steps forward and 1 step back is still 1 step forward. And even baby steps even baby steps forward count. Even baby steps forward count. Yeah, there's nothing that dangerous in the UK. I don't know. I think we've all got some stuff wherever we live that's something. Hi. So we're going to do our collective card reading. So we're talking about the otters and the sharks in the animal spirit cards, and we're going to do our collective card reading, and then we will do individual card reading. So hold your me comments. If you are a spammer, just leave now, because as soon as you start making comments, I'm going to ban you. So if you're a spammer, just know, oh, look, there you are. Japanese spirit ban. Bye. So just know that we're going to ban you. So if you are a spammer, because I can see the numbers, they jump up. And so we know when the spammers come in. So if you're a spammer, just know the minute you make a comment, you're going to be banned. We have 0 tolerance here for spammers. And the folks who are here in Genuine have no interest in what you're, whatever you're talking about. So Sarah and Nate, hang on there. We're going to do our collective card reading, and then we'll do individuals. And so we will ask for your requests at that time, because it's really important you ask me rather than me just coming to you. Oh, look, there's another one. Spammer. Okay, we're going to block you. Bye. You're banned. See you. Bye. Bye. John Lasker and Melina. See you. Bye. All right, you're banned. So if you're a spammer, just go. All right, so we're going to talk about our collective card. So the first one is worry is a wasted emotion, and this really fits in so much with what we were talking about what is it to ask for, right? Because we ask for something that's in our heart. We ask for something that we think is a wish that might be really big, or what I'm just going to ask for the moon, right? And then immediately the left brain comes in and says, whoa, 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 whoa. So this worry is a wasted emotion, and if you look at it, this blue is the blue is this throat chakra. Blue is about speaking your mind. Blue is about speaking your truth, which is so much about what is the energy of this Gemini moon. And so right now is this time to speak your truth, say what you want, but don't worry about it. And this goes right with the shark card that we just had about following your instincts. Was nothing for you to worry about, just keep going, right? Say what you want. We talked about the second card, and look, it's blue also. So very similar, the very same backgrounds. That is really important. Talking about when we speak, right? Using the throat chakra, that kindness counts. Kindness counts, which means when we are speaking our mind and we are asking the universe for things and we are speaking to each other and we're speaking our truth, we're being kind. Kindness matters. It makes a really big difference. So, and then we're going to, hi Michaela, hang in there, everybody who wants individual readings. Those are coming up next. So, all right, so then we have our third card in the collective card reading, Live Your Bliss. And I love this because it's all gold and it's all green, which is not only is green the color where it's very most commonly associated with the heart chakra, so the color of healers and healing, but green is also the color of prosperity, of new adventures, of new chapters opening. It's also the color of money. And so you might look at something like aventurine. My son brought me this. That's a great thing to keep around you is green, or putting like labradorite by your front door, so you have the green of the labradorite, but also the protective nature of the labradorite. But this is about living your bliss, which means that when we are speaking our mind, we're trusting our intuition. We're not worrying about it. We're just saying, and we're putting out into the universe what we want, and we're not judging it. We're not worrying. We're following our instincts, and we are being kind. We're coming from the place of the heart. We're speaking our truth, and we are then going to be able to live in our bliss. And the gold colors that comes into the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra, where we have the yellow and the gold and a little bit of the red down here at the bottom. These are all these base chakras, which are telling us that our core needs, our physical needs, are going to be taken care of. Okay, we have our physical needs in the root chakra, we have the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus, where we are connecting with how we see ourselves, how we relate to each other, that we're going to have peace in these areas, right? And then of course we have the gold, which is also, for the sparkly money bits and that happiness. And so this is a really fantastic time for us to be following that, where did everybody go? So following that part of speaking your truth, speaking your mind, asking the universe for what you really want. And if you came in late, we talked a lot about how to figure that out if you're not sure, and how to take those first steps, right? Because we really only need to know 3 things, right? Where we want to go, where we are now, and what's one thing that we can do to take a step in that direction to move ourselves forward. So, the universe is telling us that all lights are green for us right now to take some time. If you're not sure what you want, figure it out. And don't judge it. Trust your instincts, like the shark card told us. Figure out, if I could wish for anything. If the genie from Aladdin was standing right in front of you right this minute, Robin Williams or Will Smith, no judgment, what would you ask for? Maybe start there. I always talk to people about looking around your house. I look around my house and go, what do I need? What do I want? What would I do? I don't know. I might get a new hot water heater. What is it that you need? And don't judge it. Don't compare it to anybody else. Stay in your lane, right? This is what I want for me. It isn't about what I want for somebody else, or what somebody else, what I think somebody else thinks I should want. What do you want? What do you want? Because everything in the cards is telling us this is the time to ask. Okay? And if you're not sure, it's okay to take some time and figure it out. Brainstorm a little bit, but don't take 6 months. Where I get sad is for people who are not asking the moon energy or the universe for anything in the time of the new moon, when that's the most powerful time for us to ask. And they're like, well, I don't know, I guess I'll wait till next time. And then 6 months goes by. You're missing a lot of time. I feel humble. Okay, I prefer to be humble and try to think of what I need rather than what I want. That's awesome, Lucy. And there's never any judgment about this. And one of the things that really comes up for me a lot, because I'm a helper. I know that's one of the things in my soul that is my purpose of being here. And so one of the things that I ask for is, how can I help more? And so I tell my parents, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. And they're always like, when do you have time to work? Because I will often be like, I'm going to volunteer for this new thing, and I'm going to volunteer for that thing, and I'm doing, and I'm working with this organization. And sometimes it's like one night a month or one afternoon a month. So it's not huge time commitments, but one of the questions that I ask Lucy is, how can I be more of service? How can I help more? And so that's one of those things that I want, is I still want to make sure that I'm supporting my family, financially, but maybe that's a thing. Yes, focus on your needs. What do you need? Always a good place to start. But if you're feeling guilty about asking for something that you want, stop it, first of all, because the universe loves you and the universe believes that you deserve everything. And second of all, if it feels better to you, ask how you can be of service. Okay? I always ask every day, what is the universe and my guides and angels want me to know for my highest and best to be able to move forward on my path today. I ask that every day. It's a good place to start. All right. Ready? Are we ready now? Okay, so first of all, if you're a spammer, just go right now, because I just want to say it again. If you start commenting on people's stuff and you are doing spammy things, we'll block you immediately. You're going to be banned and you won't be back. So if you are not, then, and you would like a card reading, this is the time to ask in the comments, yes, yes, me, because I will go in order and I will try and hit everybody. And we will do individual card readings, but I can't come to you if you do not welcome me into your energy. So only do it once, okay? You don't have to put in 6 comments. Just do it once, and I will find them, okay? So because otherwise it gets too far out, okay? So you guys who say me, you make me laugh. All right, so we're gonna start with Maria Brudish and Amami. I hope I said that right. Okay, so Maria, the card that I have for you, because I'm trying to look into your energy, and so I'm like looking at your names. It's always really important for me to see your names. Is learn from your mistakes. Okay, so Maria, I feel like there's a place where we're a little hard on ourselves, and I know we all can be like that, and to just give yourself grace. I feel like that's definitely a place for you where you can you could be a little less hard on yourself. So this is learn from your mistakes. Every mistake is not a crisis. It's just an opportunity to learn to do it differently. Like, well, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Okay, so Maria, be nice to our friend Maria, right? Like we want you to not be hard on yourself. Okay, so that's for Maria. All right, so we're gonna move to Michelle. And Michelle says, we've got make each day count. So Michelle, this is about looking at how are you spending your time? Are you getting caught up in minutia? Are you getting caught up in things that don't matter? Are you letting other people be suckers on your time? I did this morning. I'm on the HOA of my neighborhood, and I was just ready to start my run when one of my neighbors, who has a new baby, came walking the other way, and I'm like, I want to see the new baby. We ended up talking for 30 minutes. I mean, which is great. I mean, I love my neighbors, but I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, crap. So where are you allowing for other things? Where are you not being disciplined with your time that you could tighten that up a little bit? Okay, tighten that up a little bit. And we have this beautiful teal energy, so it's reminding you that we're shifting from the throat to the eye. So we're looking around with more discernment about how we're spending our time. We're talking to others maybe a little bit less, but we're using more discernment about what we're looking at. Wayne Dyer would say, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So Michelle, this is just a reminder for you to maybe change what you're looking at, so that or the way you're looking at things, so that you're being a bit more discerning about how you're spending your time. Okay. All right. So that's Michelle. Sarah and Nate is going to be next. And let me I always like to scroll down and make sure no spammers are sneaking in the back. All right, so Sarah and Nate, appreciate your talents. And this is that orange and yellow. So we have the sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakra. So Sarah, this is about you letting yourself be seen. This is about you allowing your wisdom and your expertise and your compassion. There's like a lot of love and a lot of caring that's in there. And I feel like you maybe think less of yourself because you are very compassionate, and maybe you're an empath that just needs to get some training about how to use your empathic abilities for a blessing rather than a burden. And we can certainly talk about that, because Lord knows I teach class on that. But Sarah, this is about respecting the amazing person that you are and allowing others to see the things that you do. I also feel like there may be something with words there, like writing, but allowing others to see, to share in your gifts, whether doesn't necessarily have to be publishing a book, but allowing others in to see the gifts that you bring to the table, that not deferring and let other people lead the way. Step in and lead. You have a lot to offer. You have a lot of wisdom and guidance and a lot of compassion to share, Sarah. So allow yourself to be seen. You're safe. You can do it. You're okay with all of that. I'm before Sarah. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry, Catherine. I didn't mean to skip you. So you're in the queue. I promise you're in the queue. I have to go by the way that, oh, you're right there. You are right after Sarah. So yep, you're right in there. Catherine's next, right behind Sarah. It's just going to how it's coming up on me, but I promise that we'll get everybody. No worries. So Catherine, your card is, oh, okay. So this is Live Your Bliss, but I want to make sure I didn't get distracted in the shuffling. So we're going to do that one more time because Live Your Bliss already came up. So we're going to go one more time. I just want to make sure I didn't get distracted and didn't shuffle proper. Sometimes we get a theme going and a card will come up over and over again. So for Catherine, we've got understanding your body. Understand your body. So this is important, Catherine, if there's something that's going on with you medically or if there's something you've maybe been ignoring in your body. This is the green is the color of healing. And so this talks to me about just making sure that you're doing some body scans, that you are really feeling like, how am I feeling, and not ignoring things. Sometimes we get like something and we're like, I don't really want to go to the doctor about it. And so if it's a naturopath, fine. If it's some, essential oils or, some things that you can do, that are more natural, that feel more comfortable for you, that's fine. But this is a reminder for you not to neglect your health. That's really important. So, and it feels like there may be something in there that you've been kind of, my awareness goes right to my right foot, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, Sarah. Catherine, sorry, Catherine, but I want to make sure that you are being cognizant of what your body is trying to tell you. So if there's some kind of pain, I got a little pain right here, that's like, make sure you're not ignoring it, okay? You don't have to like jump right to, hypochondriac panic mode. I'm not saying you're hypochondriac. I'm not saying that, but you don't have to jump right to a panic. But if there's things going on, let's make sure we're not ignoring them, okay? It's important to put our own health first, right? What do we say? Put our oxygen masks on ourselves first, right? So, okay, Lucy. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Okay, oh, we've got a ban of spammer. We're gonna, oh. Banned, William. Bye. Bye. You're banned. Oh, okay. And then Scott. Oh, that's a spammer too. All right, banned. All right, you're banned. Yep. So we got one that snuck in there. A couple of them snuck in there. Okay, so we're going back to Michelle. You got the same card twice? Wow. That's important. That's really important. All right, if you're a spammer, just go, because as soon as we see your comments come in, we're going to ban you. You're going to be blocked from the page, so off you go. All right, Lucy. Focus on the positives. Lucy, focus on the positives. There's a lot of blessings around you. Don't get caught up in the minutia. Don't get caught up in other people's bullshit or drama. Allow yourself to stay in your lane, right? We talk about staying in your lane. We start looking around and we compare ourselves to others, then we get, it's really easy to get, where we start to belittle and we think negative, we let negative energy come in. So Lucy, it's really important to focus on the positive, but we do that so much by staying in our lane. Other people around you that are having drama, remember the 3 questions. Is that my circus? Do I have the power to fix that circus? Did anybody ask me to fix the circus? That's the most important. Did anybody ask me to fix that circus? So, all right. So please don't worry if you are in the things, because Jessica, you're right now after Lucy. I'm not sure why it's showing up in maybe a different order for you all, but I see it on my thing. So I have Lucy, I have Jessica as next, and then Zanelle, and then Beth. So please don't panic. I won't skip you. I certainly not on purpose. And if we get to the end and I miss you and you go, hey, I promise we'll stay. We'll make sure we get everybody. But it's, please don't panic. I won't skip you, but for some reason the comments are maybe just showing up a little bit different on your side than mine. So I can only go by mine. So, all right, so there's that. So Jessica, me, please. Absolutely. So for Jessica, we have, okay, Jessica, we have Jessica, we have an attitude of gratitude. That is no reflection on the current situation. But Jessica, this is have an attitude of gratitude. And so Jessica, I really I want to take this to your original comment of me, and allow yourself to have a little fun, because I feel like you're trying to let a little bit of humor creep in, which is fantastic, but let yourself have a little bit of fun. You've got the blue, you've got the pink, you've got some orange in here. This is all about letting your true nature be seen and not being afraid to show your real self to people. And also, there's more about that, about being grateful for the bumps. I want to share with you what's being given to me is to be grateful for the bumps. I don't mean like a bump on your arm. I mean like the bumps in the road. So sometimes we can get so flustered that maybe we're acting more flustered than the situation requires. And so just to stay in the place of fun. And just know that the bumps are just bumps, and they are, annoying and inconvenient, but they're not a crisis. We don't have to lean into crisis mode. And so just to keep the fun is really the thing, is just to keep that fun coming in, because that's really a part of who you are. And I feel like maybe that got lost along the way, and you're working on trying to bring that back. So let's hold on to that fun for you. All right, so just double checking the... Okay. Oh, thanks for that explanation, Michelle. All right, so we're going to go to Zenel, and then Beth, and Michelle got that card last week, and then Caroline. Okay, so we're going to do Zenel. So, all right, Zenel, you have your beliefs are right for you. So, Zenel, this is about self-confidence. This is about believing in yourself, and this is about believing that what you have to say is important, but also knowing that you're staying in your lane, okay? So your beliefs are right for you. You are on your path. You are on the right path for you. Keep going, but keep the, not blinders, right? We're not trying to like live in a cave, but stay in your lane. And don't worry about what anybody else is doing. You do you, right? This card is all about you do you, and not worry about what anybody else has to say or think about it. And I love that it's surrounded in this hot pink color, because hot pink is not a chakra color, but it is a color that's largely associated with fun and joy. Okay, and now you have this black up here, which means, and then you have the orange and the red, which means you stay grounded in yourself, and then you're going to rise above. You're going to rise up, and you're going to combat and fight up against this black, and just wipe all that out. You just stay in your lane, and you follow what's right for you. Okay, you're not hurting anybody. You go forward, and you are not, as long as we're not beating somebody up to make them believe what we believe, we stay in our lane and we go forward in the way that blesses us, because when we are in that place, our energy rises, our vibration rises, and then we're in the position to bless more people. So hopefully that helps for my friends. And now, all right, let's make sure. Oh, look. We're going to ban. Goodbye. Bye. Spammers, just go. Thanks, Jessica. Yeah, so I try between the cards. I try to scroll down to the bottom so I can make sure if you all have any comments, and also if there's other spammers that are coming through, we want to delete them because they make it hard for me to see your comments. So I really try and stay on top of those. All right, so we had also they push the messages up. So, all right, we've got Beth, and then we've got, oh, no, wait. There we are. All right, let's go. I scrolled up too much. Oh, blah, blah, blah. So, Catherine, we want to wish you best of luck with the doctor. I'm really glad that you are taking care of your health. That's important. So, okay. Oh, gastric surgery. Good, bless you. All right. So, Jessica, Lucy, hi, Jim. So we've got some information about how the comments are showing up. Thank you. Hi, Felicia. All right, so, you're so welcome, Zanelle. Okay, so we're going to do Beth, and then, so the spammers kind of scrambled the comments, so we've got Beth Boyd, and then, I think that is, Beth, and then we would be to Felicia. So awesome. Okay, if you were on the list and you're not Beth or Felicia, definitely hit the comments because I think we've come down to the bottom, and we will catch everybody. Hi, Claire. So if you are here and you are just saying hi to me, I am thrilled that you are here, and I say hi back. If you want a card, you have to ask for it. Ethically, I will not come into your energy if you have not requested it. I feel like that is mental trespassing, and I don't do that. So all these is part of why I'm so anti the spammers. Not only are they just freaking annoying, but they're coming into your energy without being asked, and that for me is unethical. It's a real hard line in the sand that I have, where they're coming and they're messaging you and they're coming to you saying, "Oh, beloved, I feel called to you." No, they don't. They just want your money, and I just a real hard line for me. So when you are coming on on our time together and you say hi, I say hi back. And I'm so happy for you to be here. But if you do not ask me specifically to say, yes, I want a card, I'm not coming in. Okay, so we've got Beth, and we're going to do Zanelle. I see you, Candace. All right, Beth, and we saw this card before, Beth Boyd. We have attitude of gratitude. And I feel like this is right up your alley because I know Beth personally. But I also feel like that there may be some things that are those speed bumps, the little bumps in the road that are coming up for you, Beth. And so I want to just remind you that the card wants to remind you that the bumps in the road are happening for you. They're not happening to you. And so even when they're annoying and frustrating and like, why is this? They're happening for you, and they're clearing stuff out of the way for you. So whatever it is that's going on with that, Beth, I want to really just let you know that Spirit has got a hand in it and that they are clearing debris out of your way for you. So stay in that place of gratitude even when there's bumps in the road. So, okay. So we're going to do my friend Felicia. Okay, Felicia, I have to laugh at this one because it says, "You're never alone." Now, I know Felicia, she has an adorable little girl, and so I know that she probably feels like she's never alone. But Felicia, this is just this reminder that you are to stay connected with Spirit. I think sometimes we get, it feels like we get caught up in the minutia, we get caught up in the day-to-day, and we forget to check in. We forget to get, ground the feet, connect to the light, and, get ourselves connected back in. And so if you've been feeling a little bit disconnected, just remember that you're not alone and that Spirit is with you and your little girl is with you and that all the things are okay. But this is just some really great sacral chakra energy and some solar plexus energy to remind you that you are who you are. You are exactly who you came here to be, and that you are absolutely on the right track, and that remember to take some time to get yourself plugged in. Okay. Thanks, Jessica. I'm so glad you'll be back. Share the page. Please share me. Invite other people to watch the videos. Invite other people to come and like the page. It's very nice to meet you. I'm so glad you got to be with us. We look forward to seeing you next week. All right. So Beth Boyd, you are, Felicia, I'm so glad. Beth Boyd, you are so welcome. And then we're going to scroll back up. So we have Claire, who said hello from Manchester, England, and Candace, who has asked me for a card. So we're going to do Candace. Claire, if you're there and you want a card, let me know. If I missed anybody and you need and you want a card, please let me know. So we're going to do Claire. And I appreciate you too. It's so nice to hear from you, Felicia. It's been such a while. Mercy Angela, you're banned because, we don't do spam. So if you're a spammer, we're going to ban you. So bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. My girlfriend is, I have a girlfriend who's a voice actress, and she's actually the voice of Barbie in the Toy Story movies, and so she bye-bye at the end of the Toy Story movie. So anytime I say that, it just makes me think of her. So, all right. Hello. I appreciate you back, Felicia. I'm so happy to hear from you. All right. So where were we? Candace. Okay. Candace card. We have an attitude of gratitude. So we've seen this one come up. Just couple people ago, right? So those bumps in the road, Candace, those bumps in the road are for your benefit. And it's hard sometimes for us to stay in gratitude when we're just like, why is this happening? So it's really important that you remember that the universe has got you, the universe is absolutely with you, and that the universe is really helping you to move forward by clearing things out of the way, by clearing some path for you. And so we stay in that place of gratitude because even though it can be frustrating, it's that reminder that this is happening for you and not happening to you. Okay, so I hope that that helps you. Oh my God, how cool is that, Lucy? I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, but I'm so glad it was so cool. Lucy, remind me, what is cool? Sometimes the comments come in like however many, seconds or so after the whatever it was I said that you all are reacting to, so I don't always know. So my apologies, but I am super excited that that was so cool. All right, hiya, my friend Zach has a jump-in card. Oh, to be the Barbie voice. Yeah, we met in Mommy and Me years and years and years ago. So she's very special. Hiya, my friend Zach. Express your feelings. Express your feelings. And so you have this here. I love this card because it has so many colors. So down here we have the bright pink, which is the happiness and joy. We have blue, which is speaking our mind, speaking our truth, right? And then we've got up here the solar plexus and being part of the sacral chakra, of being sit solidly in who you are. Sacral and solar plexus are about owning who you are, which I know is really something you've been working on, and sitting solidly in who you are. So this orange color, that sacral chakra, of really understanding how sacral is about fluids and blood flow and how liquids move through the physical body, and how we move through the world. And so really this card is reminding you to sit solidly in who you are and express your true feelings and allow yourself to be seen for the person that you want to be. And I love that this card comes up for you because I know you and I know that that is exactly what you're doing. So take this card as confirmation that you're absolutely on the right track, my dear friend. Okay. Yes, Caroline Shire, you can have a card. You betcha. What is that? It's a heart and a smiley face and is it a bunny and a fingers crossed. You don't have to cross your fingers. I'll say yes. I will say yes. All right, so we're going to make Caroline, it's 5:30. So we're going to make Caroline the last one. And Caroline, possess self-confidence. And this actually has the same color pattern as the card we just pulled, right? This has the same color pattern. So if you were listening, which I know you were, you heard me just talk about all those colors. But this is possess self-confidence. So this is really similar to the message I just gave to Chaya, which is be who you want to be and own it. Be who you want to be and own it. So however it is that you're choosing to show up in the world, know that you are your best, truest self, and stay true to that. And this is where I say again, stay in your lane, because when we find our place where we have that connection to our best and truest self, oh my gosh, doesn't that feel so good? And then we look to the right or the left and we see somebody else doing something different and we're like, oh crap. Stay in your lane. Don't look to the right or left. I'm not talking about blinders. I'm not talking about burying your head in the sand. I'm saying stay in your lane and know that where you are going and showing up as your truest self is awesome. Be confident of who you are and how you are choosing to show up in the world. Caroline. Yes? Good. Hello, Hubiora, Sammy Smith, Hewlett. I love these names. I love it. People come from all over the world. I love it. It makes me so happy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you're catching us at the very tail end. So we are getting ready to finish. Wow. New Zealand. Fantastic. Welcome. So we're just getting ready to finish. And so I want to say, no. Well, yes, joined late because we're just getting ready to finish. However, I really encourage you to watch the replay. And then the replays are posted also on my YouTube channel. So, the information that we do at the beginning, which is all the channeled information from Spirit, don't lose that stuff. Don't miss it. Just because you came late, don't not go back and watch, because all the great information that's not necessarily personal to each person in individual card reading is in the beginning part. So that first 30 minutes is all the stuff that's channeled in from Spirit for everybody. So definitely don't, if you came to the end, don't think, all is lost. There's a replay for a reason. All right. So, last card that's for the collective is know your truth. Know your truth. Just know who you are. And if you're not sure, ask. Ask. Okay. So much that we talked about in the beginning today was about what to ask for a new moon cycle, and to be able to say, what do I want? What do I need? What would I even ask for? Know your truth. And know that whatever it is that you hear in your heart, in your mind, in your right brain that you would like to ask for, it's valid, it's worthy. And when your left brain and your ego mind starts to negate it and be like, no, tell that one to sit down. Because knowing who you are and what you want and what you are here for gives you the right to ask. Spirit always has your back. They always want to help you. They always want to help get you what you need. Even if it's a Ferrari, if you want to ask for a Ferrari, then ask. Don't feel like you have to ask for something that's worthy. Ask for what you want, because along the way you'll become the person who's worthy of having it. Ellen Jane, so happy to see you. We'll catch you next time. Mwah. All right, I want to say thank you so much to everybody for taking the time. It means so much to me to have you with us. Thank you so much for all for being here. We will have we will not have meditation on Thursday. We still have a lot of things shifting around. We will not have meditation on Thursday. We'll try and see if we can find some time for meditation another place this week. I'm a little booked up, so we'll see. If not, I will see you back here next Monday. If you missed it, if you came in late, please don't worry. Replay is available, and it'll also be posted on my YouTube channel as well. I love you all so very much. Thank you so much for being part of my world, part of our community of light. And always know how very much you are loved. Mwah. See you next time.